Dolly Parton has a very special kind of humor. She talks as sweet as honey, but every line lands sharp as a razor. She does not need to put on a cold face, act mean, or try to roast anyone. Dolly just smiles, tilts her head a little, and says the exact thing everyone else is thinking, but nobody else has the nerve to say.
So good. What do you do? Do you work out? What do you do?
Well, it ain't cheap. It's
Yeah.
That line almost sums up Dolly herself. Sparkling, expensive looking, but always ready to make fun of herself before anyone else can. She understands her own image completely. The big hair, the bright dresses, the long nails, the southern voice, and a kind of charm that is almost impossible to imitate.
No, I think it's fun. I think it's a great compliment. Because if I hadn't have been a girl, I'd have been a drag queen, for sure.
The funny thing is that Dolly does not use honesty to make people uncomfortable. She wraps it in a smile, in warmth, in a voice that sounds like an aunt telling stories at the kitchen table. And when the punchline lands, the audience can only laugh, because it is shocking, true, and completely Dolly.
I think she's going to have one of you neutered.
Dolly Parton has never tried to build a perfect image. She does the opposite. She takes the very things people usually pick apart: age, appearance, wigs, rumors, plastic surgery, and turns them into material. In Dolly's hands, almost anything can become a joke.
I don't Google myself because I pretty much know what I'm up to. And if I don't know, all I got to do is pick up a National Enquirer magazine. Yeah, right.
Another star might avoid the tabloids. Dolly turns them into a news source. The humor is not just in the line, it is in the attitude. She knows the world is making things up about her, but she does not panic. She looks at it, laughs, and turns it into material.
Need to do. And
Yeah, but
just
when you lost all
I'm
that weight.
I'm a cartoon. So it's almost like easy to look this way. I'll look this way probably when I'm 100, which will be...
Yeah. But you didn't.
Dolly calls herself a cartoon. But that is not self-insult. That is a brand statement. Dolly is not trying to look like an ordinary person. She is trying to look like Dolly Parton, a character so bright, so memorable, and so confident that nobody can turn her into the joke without her getting there first.
But the good thing is, I probably look the same when I'm 100 because I'm more like a cartoon.
That cartoon did not happen by accident. Dolly designed herself like a stage character. The clearer the image, the harder it is to mistake her for anyone else. And the best part is that she never pretends any of it is natural.
But anyhow, I do whatever I need to do. If I need to do some collagen or a skin peel or whatever, sandblasting, whatever.
The show dog line is funny, but it is also true. Dolly understands that show business is a stage, and once you step onto that stage, you cannot do it halfway. The hair has to be right. The dress has to be right. The makeup has to be right. Not because she is fake, but because she knows the audience came to see Dolly, and she respects that.
That's what I say. Why shouldn't you? It's like, who gives a rat's behind if I had a few little nips and tucks? It's like, and I'll do it.
What makes Dolly different is that she is not ashamed to talk about beauty maintenance. Other people may dance around it, but Dolly says it plainly. If something needs fixing, fix it. She is not selling the dream of, I woke up this way. She is selling a much funnier truth. Beauty is a construction project, and this one gets regular maintenance.
No, actually, my own hair is the same color. I keep it the same length, and I can do my own hair the same way. It's just that, it's just so handy.
Dolly's wigs almost have a career of their own, but Dolly does not treat them like a serious secret. She talks about them like a useful household item. If it works, if it looks good, if it saves time, why not use it?
Just so funny, my hair hanging on a bush. We just went back and got it. We just rode back by and jumped under it.
A wig getting caught in a bush should be an embarrassing moment. But in Dolly's mouth, it becomes a cartoon scene. The person keeps walking. The hair stays behind. And then she comes back and jumps right into it, like nothing happened. That is Dolly's gift, turning the ridiculous into something charming.
I'm Dolly Dean, which is my married name, but I order every exercise machine. I just hang my clothes and my wigs on it. It's like I never use it.
Dolly is also wonderfully down to earth. The exercise machine in her house is not a symbol of iron discipline. It is a place to hang clothes and wigs. That line is funny because everyone understands it. Everyone has bought something hoping it would change their life, only to have it change the location of the laundry pile.
I was about 45, I guess. I gained a lot of weight because I'm just a big old hog. You know, inside of me, I'm a...
Dolly does not pretend she lives on salad and water. She is a country girl, and inside all that sparkle is still a very real woman, someone who likes food, likes fun, likes life, and has no desire to turn herself into some cold, untouchable icon.
Well, that's easy. Potatoes. Every diet I've ever fell off of has been because of a potato, either French fries or mashed potatoes or baked potatoes. Potato, potato, potato.
In Dolly's story, potatoes sound like villains. Fried, mashed, baked. Every version is guilty. But the punchline works because it feels so real. Anyone who has ever broken a diet over one French fry knows Dolly is not joking alone.
And you better believe it, I'm a really, really good cook. I'm not a gourmet cook. My food is not pretty, but it's good. I cook like my mom, my grandmas, and my aunts. I'm still one of those people that really can cook like the old days.
My food is not pretty, but it's good, feels very Dolly. On stage, she may sparkle like a Christmas tree. But inside, she is still a woman of home kitchens. Real food, real flavor, and Southern honesty. It does not have to be pretty, as long as it is good.
Possum. My dad never would let us eat possum. He said, that ain't nothing but a damn rat. And it's true.
Dolly's country spirit lives in lines like that. She does not talk about poverty as a concept meant to sound emotional. She talks from real memory, what people ate, how they lived, how they got by. And sometimes inside that memory is a possum her father refused to eat because it looked too much like a rat.
Well, a clown? Well, I actually patterned my look after what they called the town tramp in my hometown when I was a little girl. This woman that used to walk the streets had all this makeup and hair, high heel shoes, and I thought she was so beautiful. And everybody used to say, oh, she ain't nothing but trash. And I used to say, well, that's what I'm gonna be when I grow up, trash.
The deepest thing about Dolly's image is that it was built from things people once looked down on. As a child, she saw a woman the town called trash, and Dolly saw beauty, high hair, red lipstick, high heels, presence. Dolly did not learn to run from judgment. She learned how to turn what people judged into an icon.
Imagine if you hired a Dolly Parton impersonator and that showed up. You would be so annoyed.
So when other people dress up as Dolly, she can be both delighted and very clear-eyed. She loves the imitation, but she also knows the original is not easy to copy. You can wear the hair and the clothes, but if you do not have that sweetness with the sharp edge underneath, the audience can tell right away.
That you do a better impersonation of Dolly than I do?
I think that my accent's better.
Dolly's accent is also part of the brand. That Tennessee voice is not just pronunciation. It is home, the Smoky Mountains, old radios, old kitchens, and everything she carried with her into Hollywood. And when she says her accent sounds better, it may sound like a joke, but it is also a very Dolly statement. She does not need to change her voice to be respected.
What do you think, Dolly?
I think you should kill him.
In those audience advice moments, Dolly barely needs a setup. Someone asks a question, she gives one answer, and the whole room explodes. The comedy is in the speed. Dolly does not pretend to think too long. She hears the problem, looks right at it, and gives a solution like an aunt who has run out of patience at the family dinner table.
Question is, my girlfriend's a vegetarian, and I don't know whether I should eat meat around her. What do you think, Dolly?
That's a good Well, not if it's her pet.
Even a question about a vegetarian girlfriend can become a sudden left turn in Dolly's hands. It is a little bold, but it never feels crude, because Dolly delivers it with that sweet, calm charm. She is not trying to shock anyone. She is simply faster than the seriousness of the question.
I think show business, I think we are like politicians, but I think more of myself as a diplomat. Ain't that the kind of people that tell you to go to hell in such a way you look forward to the trip?
That is almost the perfect definition of Dolly. She can say something very sharp, but say it in a way that makes you want to keep listening. Dolly's brutal honesty is not cruelty. It is truth coated in sugar, sweet enough to swallow, sharp enough to remember.
Listen, Captain Kangaroo wasn't really a captain. He wasn't even a kangaroo.
Dolly's humor can be childlike, but it is never foolish. She can take a childhood television character and pull him apart with straight-faced logic. He is not a captain, and he is not a kangaroo. Simple, silly, but very effective.
And of course, I look cheaper then than I even do now. But anyway, and Judy didn't look any better. So we checked in this hotel, and they thought we were hookers.
When Dolly tells the story of her first trip to New York, she does not try to make herself look more refined. She admits she looked even cheaper then than she does now, and then tells how a hotel thought she and her friend were prostitutes. Someone else might avoid that story forever. Dolly turns it into an anecdote that makes an entire talk show lean in.
Back, I was a country girl from the mountains. I had a gun in my purse.
What?
And so
Wait a minute, I love how you just throw that in there. Well, of course I had a gun.
Well, we came to New York. That was back then, and
Sure.
country girl's not going to.
And just when the story seems wild enough, Dolly adds more. A country girl coming down from the mountains to the city with a gun in her purse. The humor is in the way Dolly never overplays it. She says it as if it were the most reasonable thing in the world. First trip to New York? Of course you come prepared.
He said, because I know that to your fans, you may be some sort of an idol, but to the pigeons, you're just another outhouse. So that kind of keeps it.
The story about Dolly's father, her statue and the pigeons pulls Dolly right back to earth. To her fans, she is an idol. To the pigeons, she is just another statue. It sounds crude, but it is also deep. Fame can build a statue of you, but life will always find a way to remind you not to float too high.
I have a big tease, and like I say, what I ain't done, I'm capable of doing it.
Now,
and I don't deny or admit anything.
Dolly does not avoid talking about flirting either. She does not play the saint, and she does not over-confess. She lets everything hang in just the right amount of mystery, not saying she did it, but saying she is capable. That is a very Dolly kind of boldness. Playful, sharp, and still completely in control of the story.
We saw something about where our $450 million divorce, there was something in the tabloids, and he said, hell, I would leave you if I thought I was going to get that kind of money.
Even a $450 million divorce rumor becomes a marriage joke in Dolly's hands. Carl's response is funny because it feels so real. Love is love, but $450 million is still $450 million. In just a few seconds, you understand why that marriage could survive in the middle of all those rumors.
I care too much. So I still go through that. So I'm not happy all the time.
I wouldn't
want to be happy.
I love your God quote from your book in which you said, you give God credit, but you get the cash.
Exactly.
He gets the credit.
He can have the credit.
God gets the credit. I want the cash. Is Dolly in concentrated form. Faith and business at the same time. Grateful, but practical. Dolly does not pretend money does not matter. God can get the thanks, but the bills still need paying. Dolly Parton is funny, not because she is trying to be a comedian. She is funny because she is so real. She takes everything other people usually hide: wigs, age, body, surgery, rumors, a poor childhood, her own flashy image, and places it all on the table like stage props. The special thing is that Dolly does not use honesty to make anyone feel smaller. She makes fun of herself first, then brings the whole room into the laugh. Her humor is not bitter. It is warm, sharp, and full of lived experience. Dolly does not joke like someone trying to beat other people. She jokes like someone who has lived long enough to know that if you do not laugh first, life will laugh later.
Just be prepared for me. I'm little. I take up a lot of space. Be prepared for my buses. Maybe that's what Kenny Rogers meant. I take up a lot of space because I have all these buses and trucks and airplanes. But actually, we're going to have a fun time. The show is going to have...
And that is Dolly Parton, small in size, but big enough to fill the whole room. Sweet, but never weak. Sparkling, but never fake. She can say the most direct thing in the room and still make everyone feel like they have been hugged. Dolly does not need to be perfect to be loved. She only has to be Dolly. Funny, sharp, warm, and always faster than anyone trying to make the joke first.